So, almost 14 years ago, I landed in Bangkok. It was February the 8th, 2013. And I hadn't a clue, obviously. I didn't have a clue. It wasn't my first time in Thailand. I'd been to Thailand before in 2008. That was my first time here. This is exactly where I met my wife almost 14 years ago. And I didn't look like this 14 years ago. I gave her 20. I thought I gave her 100. I wasn't even thinking what I was doing, because I was more concerned in talking to you. Anyway, so. You know, I feel so lucky, really lucky. I'm living in Thailand, and I've been living here for so long that it's my home. It is my home, regardless what my status is on paper. In every way, other than my immigration status, Thailand is my home, and I love it. And I love the fact that I can communicate with you every day this month, doing a video a day for every day for the month of August. Today I'm not travelling under my own steam. I'm using public transport. As Jeremy Clarkson once said, he believed it was good. So this is one form of public transport in Bangkok that has really become more apparent, more obvious over the last couple of years. But we're not going to cycle, we're getting the MRT. Let's see where it takes us. So we find ourselves outside exit 4 of the Wigwang MRT station. I'm going to head into Sukhumvit, and before you say, oh no, not Sukhumvit, it's not Sukhumvit. We're going to have a walk around, going to get something to eat. I'm going to try to explore the different side of it. I mean, who wants to see all the stuff we've already seen? And it's been done to death. It's really been done to death. Anyway, let's go. You can't really film on, well, you can if you want to, you can. You can do anything if you want, because you can, but you may not film on public transport, well, especially the MRT. But if it's covert, and this is hardly covert, the size of this thing, you might just get away with it. But rather than get into conflict, especially after the Italian student fiasco, to use an Italian word, I think I'm not going to irritate anyone while I'm actually on the MRT. Stay with me, because this promises to be, again, something completely different. So we've just got here, we've arrived in Sukhumvit, and I'm still on the MRT property, but I'm not recording anyone. I'm on the way out. But I'll just tell you what happened as I was getting on the train. But before I actually entered the station, I put the camera down on its tripod on the steps of the MRT station in Wigwang to dismount the variable filter lens, because it was coming indoors, because the variable filter lens is just for outdoors. Anyway, to dismount it, and as I did that, a security guard came up behind me. She had made herself conspicuous by trying to look inconspicuous, and she said something into her walkie-talkie, and when I went down the escalator while I was waiting for the train, another security guard, while I was in the queue, came up and stood behind me until I got on the train to ensure I didn't start recording. How about that? So I'm not going to record myself going up the escalator because there'll be people behind me, and I wouldn't do that to someone, would I? Anyway, let's see what we can find as we make our way. Actually, I won't go that way. I'll go this way. Yeah, I've never gone this way. This way brings me to Sukhumvit 23, and no one's going that way. So I can be more leisurely, and I can be conspicuous, and I won't be so conspicuous myself. So we'll head up here. I've never gone up this way. We'll head up this way and we'll see what happens. So we've just come up on the Asal Road. That's where I came from. Wigwang is down there about 7 kilometers. And you know, I feel very, this is what I swear to God, I don't come in here much at all because this is a tourist area. And when I'm here, I actually feel different about myself. When I'm in Wigwang, or the place that I live, I'm generally speaking, I don't feel like a foreigner as such. But here, 100%, I'm walking around with a camera with a rucksack on my back, and I'm the most non-Thai looking person you've ever seen in your life. So, am I going to go back that way, or will I go back up that way, or down that way? Should we go this way? Because I'm not going to the places where I'm not going to the places that everybody else goes to. So I just want to say that I am so appreciative. I said in my last video that I'm changing. I am changing. The channel is moving. You know, it's moving and grooving, as I said. So we're trying to do different things. And I'd love to go further afield. I'd love to go further afield. But as yet, YouTube is not my full-time gig. Because I just can't, so I wouldn't be able to survive on what I get from YouTube, put it that way. So when the day comes that I can, I will. Anyway, y'all know these areas. Y'all know this area. I particularly, let's see, I don't really like it that much. I don't like it, especially at night. At night, I cannot stand it. And I've been overcritical. Hang on. I've been overcritical in the past about Farang, you know, stationing themselves in the Farang bubble, which is Sukhumvit. But the truth of the matter is, it does feel like a holiday for me. It feels like a break. It feels like I'm getting out of the bubble that I'm in. I'm out of my comfort zone. I'm definitely out of my comfort zone here. So what I grab? My on a grab. See, they think I'm a tourist. So what I grab? They think I'm a tourist. I don't know where I'm going. I really don't. I'm hungry, but I don't know where I'm going. I want to thank you all, lads. I really do. I said that before. I feel like Barry McGuigan. Thank you, Mr. Eastwood. Remember that? I tell you what I don't see. I don't see that many Farang at all. Maybe it's too early. It's only 10 to 10, quarter to 10. And I don't see many of them at all. You see, that apart from them, and the look of disgust in her face. I don't know where she's from, but she's Farang. The look of disgust. Me holding the camera, talking into the camera, not bothering her. Jeez, a Thai, the smell, what is that? God damn. A Thai would never do that. A Thai would never do that. I've never had the, here's more, these Russian. They look Russian. Place is full of Russians. You know, more looks of disgust. I swear to God, I wish I had the guts to put the camera on his face as he tutted, as he passed. Jesus, Europeans are so much, they're so different. They're so bloody different. God damn. If you're wondering, some people have asked me how I met my wife. Well, if you're wondering where I met her, hello. If you're wondering where I met her, it's here. Not here specifically, it's just down here, Soy 33. That's where I met her. On a day in February 2013. Happy hour. The Pablo Bangkok. Happy hour. Never heard of it. The intense what? There you go. I don't know what's I don't know what's so intense about the Pablo. I've often felt that Farang around here are in competition with each other. Like, I've been here longer than you kind of thing. I've often felt that. And all the times that I used to drink here By the way, I'll tell you more about meeting my wife in a few minutes. But all the times I used to drink here when I first came here, because like anybody else, I gravitated to Sukhumvit when I first came here. And I was here for at least a week. That's how long I stuck this place, Sukhumvit I mean. And then I ventured down to Ben Lam Shabang, where I stayed for a couple of months. But I'll go into that in a bit more detail in a bit. When we get to sit down, I'll tell you about my first day in Thailand, because I'm coming up to the place where I literally stayed my first couple of nights actually, down here. Stay with me. So, almost 14 years ago, I landed in Bangkok. It was February the 8th, 2013. I hadn't a clue, obviously, I didn't have a clue. It wasn't my first time in Thailand. I'd been to Thailand before in 2008. That was my first time here, but that was only for a holiday. And I only saw Bangkok and Ayutthaya at that time. He's angry about something. Keep walking, keep walking. Yeah, he's shouting, hang on. You see, this is the problem everywhere in the world. There are lulas everywhere. It's just the way it is. And this is why you don't get that kind of thing. You don't get that kind of thing in Wigwam, you just don't. We'll mosey on down and we'll sit down and I'll tell you a little bit more about what I'm telling you about now, if that makes sense. As we make our way down to where I've spent my first couple of nights in Bangkok, I'll just tell you that in all my time in Thailand, I've never felt intimidated. I've never felt threatened. Only when I come here. I used to do videos for the Big Picture of Panorama here the odd time. Once somebody threatened me with a bottle, a farang. Another one deliberately shouldered me over his way while I was recording, and I remarked on it at the time that would never happen in a non-tourist area. It just wouldn't happen. I'm standing at the street, site 33 Sukhumvit. There it is there's the sign, I don't know if you can see it, 33 Sukhumvit. This is where I started my Thailand adventure. And I'm going to show you the exact place where I stayed. And I'll tell you what I got up to as well on my first weekend. That was a Friday I arrived, on my first weekend in Thailand. Do you know something? I actually feel like a tourist. I do. I'm in a very relaxed state of mind. Very relaxed, moseying around, people asking me, am I all right? You know, motorcycle taxi guys, do you want to ride? Tuk-tuk drivers saying, do you want to go here and there and everywhere? Jesus Christ, it's been a long time since I've been here. I mean, down this particular street. This is Sukhumvit 33. And the apartments where I stayed should be just here. There it is there, Beverly 33. Got a taxi from Sukhumvit and I was deposited here, right there on the footpath, or just at the entrance to the car park. You see, I knew a guy at the time who I used to work with in the Middle East, and he was staying there, and he put me up. I've gone into some detail about that, and I'm not going to go into detail about it on this video because there's certain identifiers. It didn't end up well, put it that way. It wasn't, we're no longer friends, put it that way. But he did put me up for 2 days or 3 days in there, maybe more. Oh, here comes the rain. And I remember my first, I think I slept, it was a Saturday, was it a Friday morning? It was a Friday morning, let's say. Or a Saturday night. Or sorry, it was a Friday morning or Saturday morning. I think it was a Saturday morning. Not that it makes much difference, but I remember waking up about 3 or 4 in the afternoon. I slept because of jet lag. And I walked up this road here. And there was a 7-Eleven just up here. I probably passed it, probably still there, I don't know, it doesn't matter. But I remember sweating like a pig and being absolutely overcome with the heat and humidity. And I said, how did I remember saying to myself, how do Thai people do this? And when I came here, I was convinced, I had convinced myself this is where I wanted to be. This is where I wanted to stay. But I had absolutely no plan, absolutely no idea how it was going to happen. And this street was my comfort zone for that first week, let's say, 3 or 4 days. Anyway, I remember going to Propong BTS, which is just up here, getting the BTS down to Chitlum and going as far as I dare go because I was so unsure of myself. And I was staying with a guy that I hadn't seen. That was 2008. And no, it wasn't. That was 2013. That was 2013. I hadn't seen him since 2008. I hadn't seen him for 5 years. And I didn't really know him that well anyway. But that was the start of it. That was the start of it. And I met my wife. That was the Friday, Saturday, and I met my wife on the Monday. She at the time was working up here, just at the top of the street. And we kind of hit it off. Well, we hit it off then. We're hitting it off now in different ways. We're bouncing off each other. But we're doing it in a loving kind of way. Yeah, that 7-Eleven is still there. That's the first 7-Eleven. That's the first 7-Eleven I ever went into in Thailand. And one night, it was either this one, I think it was this one, or it could have been any number of places where I basically did what every Farang does when they come, not every, but you know what I mean. I think she was Chinese. That was my first experience here. And I can't say it's changed that much. I can't say it hasn't changed that much because I really don't remember, because Thailand changed, or Bangkok changes so much. Look, there's construction going on there, I think. There's construction going on here. So that's a bit about my first couple of days here. And I went down to Ben Lam Shabang, in search of adventure, and I got adventure. Believe me, I got adventure. I was down there for about 2 months, and I got back in contact with my wife-to-be, and it kind of snowballed and went very fast. And that was 2013, February, and we were married by October 2014. There you go now. How about that? This is exactly where I met my wife almost 14 years ago. And if you're wondering why I'm being vague about the actual details, I didn't actually meet her here on the sidewalk. I met her in an air-conditioned building. If you're wondering why I'm being deliberately vague about how exactly I met her and the details, she's a very private person, and it wouldn't be fair to her to go into details of those details, because it involves some very private aspects of her life that she just, as you know, she is a very private person. She doesn't like appearing on the videos. She never even watches my videos. She's not interested, and she wants to be completely detached from YouTube. So I have to respect that, but I just say that within 10 meters of where I'm standing is where I met her, and I never knew. How many of us know when things like that happen? I never knew what would transpire 14 years later to be doing this, talking to you. Honestly, I feel like I'm connected with you, lads. I really do. Talking to you about that day and how different I felt about life and how different I was as a person. Do you know, again, I just want to say, there you are there. You are the guys that support me, and thank you very much indeed for that. I'm going to go and have something to eat, and it's because of your support that I can do this on these videos. I'm making a video a day, and if I'm spending $10 a day on going out and doing these things, you know, that's $50 a week, $70 a week, because I'm doing it 7 days a week, so you know what I mean. So thank you, all of you, for your support. I really, really appreciate it. The guys with their names highlighted in yellow are the guys who most recently donated. And if you want to see your name in yellow, you know what to do. You can scan the QR or click the link in the description. I never thought, oh, she's gorgeous. I never thought that I'd be doing this 14 years ago. But as I said, none of us ever know. And we'd be, you'd say, how, if I knew then what I know now, how would I have felt then? Whatever the hell, I don't know. Anyway, let's move on. One of the first restaurants I ever ate in when I came to Thailand was Sunrise Tacos here. I forgot they were there, to be honest. And if they're not playing music, I'll give it a go now. We'll have a look. Now that's Easy Burger. So there's Easy Burger and Sunrise Tacos. Easy Burger wasn't here. I'm sure it wasn't here. I think Sunrise Tacos had the whole thing. Maybe I'm wrong. You can tell me if I'm wrong. Hang on. Will I do Sunrise Tacos or will I do the Londoner? Oh, sorry. Thank you. Thank you. Cars come first in Thailand. How about this? We're in Sunrise Tacos for the first time in 14 years. Yes. And I didn't look like this 14 years ago. Let's see what they got. The reason I took off the hat is because the microphone's on this. Hang on, let's see. Pork tacos. Who'd have a pork taco? The Veggie Beyond Cowboys tacos. 415. 395, 595. It's a bit on the pricey side. I tell you, I'm not going to do it. It's too damn expensive for me. Bear with me. Yeah. You might think I'm a cheapy Charlie. And you might think it was rude of me just to go. I did tell the guy, I said, I'll see you later. You know, it just, I can't just, I don't live in Sukhumvit. You see, I don't live in Sukhumvit because I can't, well, if there were reasons that I didn't live in Sukhumvit, one of them would be I can't afford it. And I can't afford those prices. I just can't justify spending. One of the items in that menu was 400 baht. Now, fair play. They're paying Sukhumvit rent. These premises are, these business people are paying $1 million baht a month rent or something crazy like that. So yeah, they're quite entitled to do that. But it's not in my, I don't have the capacity. I don't have the capacity to do that. Absolutely. This is the first Irish pub I was ever in, and it wasn't called, what is it called now, O'Shea's. It wasn't called O'Shea's then, it was called the Dubliner. There it is there, haven't been in it since. It's too Irish, to be honest. It's a very, very well run establishment, and it's a very, very authentic establishment. And you know, I didn't travel 10,000 kilometers because that's as Irish as you can get. It really is. It's very authentic. So I don't like, you know what I mean? I want to have a different experience, and that's what I did. And that's what I did. I got myself out of Sukhumvit. I had a completely different experience. So yeah, it was Sunrise Tacos, too damn expensive. I did eat, for those of you who are maybe criticising me now, I did eat Sunrise Tacos in Ceylon before on this channel, and I don't remember it to be that expensive, whatever it is I got. But you know, everything was 355, 375, 400. It was just, can't justify it. Let's see what we got here. The Royal Oak. Now I remember Pete from Thailand Bound did a fish and chips thing in the Royal Oak, and the prices here: fish and chips $3.99, salt royal steak $4.99, any pizza. God, it's the same prices. There's a place down in Sukhumvit 4, Sukhumvit Soi 4. It's a Thai place, and they do a farang breakfast, or not European, Irish, British, Australian, American breakfast, whatever you want to call it, for about 102, well, under 200. You see, the difference between me now and me then is I had a substantial amount of money coming over here, a substantial amount, and I'd set aside a substantial amount for my first month that I was going to treat as a holiday. So I used to drink. That's the old Dubliner there. Was that the old Dubliner? It was called the Dubliner, now it's called the Shays. I mean, again, no criticism, but you will pay premium in places like that, and I did, because I hadn't got the confidence. I hadn't got the confidence to mingle with the Thais, to live in Thailand, to live in the real Thailand, and go and eat in restaurants, because I didn't know how to ask her stuff, and I didn't know what the stuff was. But now that I have that experience and I think like a Thai, I can get me breakfast for 70 baht, 75 baht, including the cola. Anywhere, if it's Thai. But here, 355, 375, oh my God. What have we got here? Breakfast, there we go, 99 baht, pot of tea, 9 a.m. to 1 a.m. 1 a.m. to 1 p.m. So look, for all my British viewers, we're going into the Robin Hood for a 99 baht breakfast. Now I can only imagine what that's like, but let's see. If they're playing music, I'm coming straight back out again. So that's a wonderful establishment, but they were playing music. You see, this is the thing. Either it's too expensive. I feel like, who do I feel like? I feel like Little Red Riding Hood. It's too hot, it's too cold, it's too expensive, it's too musicy. So what am I going to do? This is what I said earlier on. I am as free as a board here. I feel like a bloody tourist. I really do. But I haven't got the spending power of a tourist. So what I'm doing now is I'm incorporating my daily exercise into this video, like I did yesterday, like I did in the last video. So I'm walking back to whence I came. In other words, back down towards us all. And see if I can get something more affordable. You see, I know I'm leaving myself open to criticism. Cheapy Charlie not spending the money. But you see, I really don't have that much money to spare. That's one of the reasons I've stopped drinking. And people think I haven't. I have. I'm enjoying a more relaxed lifestyle now. A healthier lifestyle. But I've become, as my father used to say, he used to use this word a lot, and I used to hate it when he said it, frugal. I'm adopting a more frugal lifestyle, let's say. So I hope I don't discourage you from watching my video because of the fact that I wouldn't spend $10 on a meal when I can get something just as substantial for $2. Just approaching us all now again, back to where we started. But we're not finished yet, lads, not by a long shot. I spent many nights here in the early days losing the run of myself, drinking and doing all the things associated with drinking in Sukhumvit. And I was driven by that. I really was. As a younger man, I was driven by that. I just couldn't believe how exciting it was. God, there's a green man there. Am I going to make it? This is a big crossing. 1 second. This is like the MotoGP. That's the first thing I said when I came here when I looked at this. It's like crossing in front of the front of the grid at the MotoGP. It's daunting. But yeah, if I could calculate the amount of money that I spent on that kind of entertainment, drinking and all that kind of stuff, I'd be afraid to guess. But times are different now. I've got a wife and a family, a wife and a son. But times are different now. I've got a wife and a son. I've got commitments. and I'm much more controlled. I'm much more disciplined, and I'm not going to throw it all away. I'm just not going to throw it all away. So I've just passed Sukhumvit 15, and to be honest with you, I can't find a restaurant that isn't overpriced. Oh, by the way, before I get criticised, I'll just explain something. Tomorrow's a holiday, and I'm picking up Harry from school in about 4 hours from now. And because tomorrow's a holiday, I promised Harry McDonald's today. So if I go to McDonald's with Harry, that's going to be 300 baht, give or take. If I spend 300-400 baht, that's 600 baht. Plus whatever else I spend, that's 1,000 baht today, gone. If I can curtail my expenditure, and I'm able to provide more for my son, that's what I'm going to do, and that's a fact. I don't have that much to play with, but I can tell you, I like playing with you, because to me, I'm being honest with you. I'm not going to sit in a restaurant and pay through the nose for the sake of YouTube putting on a facade. I'm just being honest with you. I can't do that. Well, I can do it, but I don't want to do it because it will hinder my finances for the rest of the week. That's basically what it is. I'm not a tourist, and I'm glad I'm not. If all else fails, 7's always there. Actually, you know what? I can't go to 7 now because I haven't got any cash. Baloney! Where the hell is the ATM? Bloody hell! Why didn't I think of that before? So I just got some money from the ATM here on Sukhumvit 11. And you know I'm no stranger to Sukhumvit 11. There's a place down there. It's called Dragonheart. There's a place down there called Dragonheart. And I can go down there at any time I want and have free beer, because of the legacy of the big picture El Panorama. But it's so removed from the way I feel now. Well, it's only 5 to 11. But if I ever came back into Sukhumvit at night, I wouldn't just come in to get free beer in that place, because you have to run the gauntlet. You have to run the gauntlet from the MRT station. And if you've got beer on you, it's okay now. I'm very strong-willed and determined now, but with a few beers on me at night on Sukhumvit, you know, you're very vulnerable. So this is a repeat of our last video. I'm getting myself an Awishi ham and cheese and a Nescafe. This was lovely. This is lovely. Nescafe blend and brew, is it? Blend and brew. There you go. I'm going to put this camera down. So, okay, my cheapy chardy. So what the heck? What the heck? This may seem like deja vu, but it couldn't be more far removed from yesterday. I swear to God. This is deepest, darkest Sukhumvit. And I don't feel as comfortable. I swear to God, I don't feel as comfortable here. I can't wait to get back to Thailand, because this is not Thailand. This is not Thailand. This is Farangland. I've said it a million times, and that's the way I feel. That's the way it feels to me. That's the way I feel. Will I get another sandwich? I'm absolutely Hank Marvin. I'm absolutely Hank Marvin. Hang on a sec. Get out the crap. Oh, get out. Sorry. Right. Sorry. So in our previous video, I couldn't carry my sandwiches and my coffee and the camera at the same time. So in this video, I'm not going to do it. I'm going to pay for it and come back. If I was doing this in Sao Paulo, I wouldn't be able to do it. That's what Brazilians tell me. Because the camera wouldn't be there when I got back. So that came to 73 baht. Thank you. Jetsip Sam. Hamput Prasathai. Thank you. Okay. Oh, I gave you 20. I give you. Pam hai noon noi, no? No? Oh, bad noon. Sorry, katod. Okay, sorry. Katod. Pam hai do. Okay. Thank you. Kapon. Thank you. Okay. I gave her 20. I thought I gave her 100. I wasn't even thinking what I was doing because I was more concerned in talking to you. Anyway, so let's go and find somewhere where we can eat this and drink this in peace. So here we are. I've just found a place where I can boogie. Sitting outside McDonald's eating a 7-Eleven. Well, I got two of them, Oishi sandwiches, 73 baht. So you see, this is it. I'm trying to be more responsible to myself. It's so goddamn easy to spend money in Thailand. It's so easy. Look, don't misunderstand me. If it was a night out, who gives a shit if it's a night out? But this is a Tuesday morning. This is a working day for me, like, you know, I'm not on holiday. Told you I'm changing. That's what this is. It's a change, lads. It's a change. Now I haven't had the opportunity to wash my hands. I'm always mindful of that here, always. So I'll leave the plastic on. There's a bit of a breeze around Sukhumvit today. It's really pleasant, extremely so. And it adds to the whole relaxed kind of atmosphere, well, the relaxed atmosphere from where I'm coming from, or the relaxed atmosphere that I'm experiencing. I'll tell you what happened. I was in 7-Eleven. I was very cramped. You can see how cramped it was. There was a very nice lady, let's say, but she a very nice lady. And I was trying to squeeze past her. It was very cramped to get to the coffee. And I got to the coffee, resumed my coffee, let my camera down on the fridge beside the coffee machine. Then I went back and I left the camera where it was, and I brought the coffee with me to get a sandwich. And then I went back and had squeezed past her again. So I ended up squeezing past her about 3 or 4 times. And I said, cut out the crap. And she said, no problem. And she went this on my back all the way down. When I have a sweaty shirt on, I bet you she was sorry she did that. But however, that's Sukhumvit, you know? There was a time I'd be receptive to that. And if I was here with a face full of drink on me, and that happened, I would be receptive to that. I got 2, because coffee's too wet without one. I'd say this is a first for YouTube. I'd say this is the first time anyone sat outside McDonald's on Soy 11 in Sukhumvit and had a cheesy sandwich from 7-Eleven sitting outside McDonald's. Salam alaikum. I love Arabic perfume. It's very distinct. If you've ever been to Soy 3 in Bangkok or in Sukhumvit, I've ever been to the Middle East, been to Dubai, you know what I'm talking about. It's amazing stuff. That's as tasty and as filling as any taco or any burger or any fish and chips. 73 baht. Before I move on from here, let's put this away. I'm putting my litter in my rucksack, by the way, just in case anyone thinks I'm not. But you'll meet all kinds of girls here, and you know that. But you won't meet the girls that you'll meet on Thai Date VIP here. Because Thai Date VIP is a very special place. And it's accessible to you now. It's run by a friend of mine. It's not a regular dating site. It's a very, very unique dating site in Thailand. Run by a friend of mine. He's from France. And many guys who watch my videos have met their future wives or girlfriends on Thai Date VIP. If you don't believe me, scan the QR or click the link below. Do whatever you want. and register with Thai Date VIP, and you'll agree with me 100% that the girls on Sukhumvit, the girls you meet on a Friday, Saturday night in Sukhumvit, whatever night you want to come here, any time you want to come here, are completely different to the girls that you meet on Thai Date VIP. I can say that with confidence. Wow. Let's move on. So now we're back to whence we came. That's all. For those of you who have been keeping track, I have covered 4 kilometers. Up as far as side 33, down to side 4, back up again, and the walk to the MRT station from Wigwang, 4 kilometers, and it's going to be 4.5 kilometers before we're finished. So I am changing, and I'm going to continue to do this. It's been a pleasure to bring you this video, lads. It really has. You know, don't take it too seriously. It's entertainment. That's what it is. It's entertainment. And you provide me with entertainment, because I'm entertaining myself in doing this, and I wouldn't be able to entertain myself unless you entertain me by entertaining me by watching the videos. And it's wonderful. Who said it? That's entertainment. I can't sing it because I get done for copyright. The Jam. Was it The Jam? It was The Jam. It was The Jam. Fantastic song. So, with that song ringing in your head, I'll say I'll see you again very soon for another wonderful video. I'm heading back to Thailand, back to Wigwang, back to my comfort zone. See you again soon, lads.